What is going on, everybody? Architecture here with my review of Final Fantasy 15. We want to get right into this review, so I hope you all enjoy. Starting things off, the graphics of Final Fantasy 15 is a mixed bag. The landscape, the environments look astonishing, and the character models are great. But the faces of said characters could be a lot better. With that, the voice syncing could have been a lot better as well, as it looks way worse than old school kung fu films. I know that's probably all, synced with the Japanese voice acting and not the English voice acting, so it would sound better with that. But still, you kind of have to like get the voice syncing to at least look decent. It doesn't look that way. It looks extremely out of place when you're talking to another character or a character talking, and the voice just doesn't match at all or near to what the movement is for that character's mouth. But again, back to graphics, it's a beautiful game. The environment looks astonishing. It's a very, very gorgeous game, from the clouds to the asphalt on the streets. Sticking with mechanics and physics of the game runs very smoothly. I heard there were some bugs and issues people were having across any and all platforms for the game, but for me, the game performs flawlessly. Switch over to combat. The game's combat is perfect. Whether you are using a heavy sword, a pole arm, magic, or even your basic engine blade, the combat is flawless. It's quick, it's precise, and even though early on you can hack and slash, when you start getting to levels around 25 and higher, the game will start to require you to be more tactical and require you to be more smart about your decisions and how you approach a battle. You won't be fighting hack and slash. You'll be fighting more, using your abilities to your full advantage, using the team mechanics and techniques that your other teammates have to your advantage to get those victories in combat. Playing smart becomes really key when you get to those later levels, and being smart and using your potions. So before, like I said, you're early on, it's hack and slash. You don't have to use a single potion throughout your entire time playing the first few levels. But once you get 25 and higher, you're gonna start needing your potions. You're gonna start needing to be smart about your decision making when it comes to combat. As for story and questing, well, I hope you don't mind fetch questing being an errand boy, because much like Skyrim, majority of the quests in this game is fetch quests. Now, go find this. Take a picture of that. I lost my shipment. Can you go get it back? Etc. 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 Fetch quests and errand boy quests all around. Majority of the game is that, much like Elder Scrolls Skyrim. Majority of Elder Scrolls Skyrim is a bunch of fetch quests that are just recycled over and over again. However, even though there's a lot of fetch quests that basically acts as filler to make the game seem longer, they aren't really annoying. Like, a lot of people might be turned off by fetch quests, but just like in Skyrim, use that as a reference again, it's not annoying. Like, you don't mind doing those fetch quests. You don't mind doing these quests that are just filler to make the game longer than it actually is. You don't mind it because it's not repetitive, it's not tedious, it's kind of interesting. I don't mind, taking pictures because, I kind of want to see how the picture looks anyways. I don't mind going to recover a shipment because, in the end, I'm getting XP out of it, I'm getting gil out of it, so I'm progressing in the game, I'm getting stronger for the actual missions of the game. So I don't think it's annoying, I don't think it's a bad thing to have these fetch quests and these errand boy quests, even though I can see why some people will be turned off by it. There's a lot of things to do in Final Fantasy 15. From these fetch quests I mentioned before, there's also fishing, there's hunting to do, and just out of period, there's a lot of leveling that you can do. There's a whole lot of ways that you can get experience points. There's a whole lot of ways you can get AP from the ways I mentioned before, like hunting and fishing, from just driving long distances, from setting up camp and doing training missions, and just you can get a pretty good chunk of your HP just doing that stuff. I'm level 40 in the game, and I'm currently still in chapter 3. That's not that's not far in the game. I'm about, I say I have at least like 23 hours into the game total right now, and I'm only in chapter 3. So there's a lot that you can do in this game. There's a lot to do other than just the story missions itself, and you can still freaking level up and get high levels and be a little over level when it comes to those certain missions. And even when you're over level, if you're not playing smart, you're going to have a hard time with some of the hunts if you're not paying attention to what you're doing. So even like I said, the game plays to your play style. The game plays well, and it plays good with those fetch quests, with fishing and with hunting, and you don't mind doing it. Like I said, it doesn't come off as something that it doesn't come off as tedious. It doesn't come off as repetitive. It doesn't come off as you're being forced to do it. Hunting is optional. Those quests are optional. Fishing is optional. But doing it, you don't mind doing it, and doing it is pretty interesting. Finding new recipes for Ignis is not a bad thing to do. You don't mind doing it. Taking pictures for Bronzo, you don't mind doing it. There's a lot of the things in this game they might seem tedious in like thought, but when you actually play it, it's not. Switch to the story. Playing the base game, you don't really get much of a sense of story. If you didn't watch King Glaive or watch the Brotherhood miniseries, then you don't know the story or the plot of the game. I saw both, so I understand what's going on in the game. I understand the plot, understand the story, I understand everything that the game is trying to tell you. However, this is a flaw. Much as I understand it, it's still a flaw in my opinion, because even though it's great to use another form of media to tell a story, you still need to have your own story that is obvious in the game itself for people to understand it who don't want to have to go watch a movie or a miniseries or read books or whatever. You know, because you have people who aren't even into anime to begin with. So you have to have some way to let everyone know in the game how these what made these characters have such a big bond. What led to this? There's cutscenes in the game that are just excerpts from the movie, and not going to understand what's going on if you didn't watch the movie. You know, it's similar to Destiny's with Grimoire cards. It's great to have another source of lore, as I said before, but when your in-game story is empty, there's a problem. People lose interest. And though I'm not saying Final Fantasy stories is empty, what I am saying is if you didn't watch the movies, it's going to be empty to you. You're not going to understand what's going on. So in turn, people are going to be turned off by the game because they didn't watch the animated movies. I watched some videos, and this is something people will point out to be a flaw in Final Fantasy Online. People talk about why they don't like the game or why they didn't want to buy it, because they didn't want to watch the anime, they didn't see it, they didn't understand the story, they didn't understand the plot, and you know, it's always fetch quests. Overall, I think it's a great game, well deserving of the praise it has gotten. For me, it's my top 3 for best games 2016. If I gave it a score, the score I would give it is 9 out of 10. Yes, it has issues. Yes, I could see what could turn someone off from the game itself, but for me, I find this game to be an addicting game, and I find it to be great. Another flaw I will mention though is the soundtrack when you're driving. I don't like it. It's terrible. It's boring. I don't care for it. This is my first time playing a Final Fantasy game ever. I never played any Final Fantasy games my entire time of playing video games. So the nostalgic effect isn't there for me. But some people they love it because they played the other games. It brings them back memories. They love the nostalgia. But if you didn't play those games, it does nothing for you. And that's the same thing with me. I didn't play any games before this Final Fantasy series. I never saw any movies up before King's Glaive. So I don't get any kind of nostalgia effect from these soundtracks that they have. You know, I often find myself quickly changing to the radio to the Kingslayer and Brotherhood soundtracks, because those are the only soundtracks that I know. Those are the only songs that I can, you know, get some kind of attachment to. This is definitely a good game. I enjoy it. What do you think though? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below on what you think of Final Fantasy 15. Did you enjoy it? Did you not like it? Is this a game that you're waiting on to hit a lower price to pick up? So let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching. Au revoir.